Hello and welcome to this video on how to use the free Hedge Dutch calculator that I'm giving away on my website at the moment. And basically I've had a few people ask me about doing a video for it, so this is the video for it. So stay tuned and we'll go exactly into how to use the Hedge Dutch calculator. Okay, just in case you don't know me, my name is Malcolm and I've been creating software, systems, methods and everything for the betting industry for over 20 plus years. And this is the Hedge Dutch or Dutch Hedge calculator. And as I said, it's version 2. And the basic idea behind this is that you can hedge runners that make a zero profit or zero loss, and I'll explain that as we go along. So primary is a Dutch and secondary is a hedge. Total budget is obviously your stake and the commission, so we'll leave it there. Now when you start up you'll get a screen like this. Okay, you can delete sections or add sections. Now you notice it counts up a bit weird, so that's something I've got to have a look at. But anyway, we'll just start with the Dutch. So if I wanted to Dutch a race, and let's put the prices up a little bit to say, what, 7 and 9.50, just make it a little bit more interesting. So if we Dutch this race, we could win £110 if one of those wins. Now, just a quick bit of interest about when you Dutch. Obviously we do it here, but by the time we get it on the race, put all our bets on the race and push submit, the prices are going to change, likely to change. Now that actually means that we may have to fiddle with the price to get it matched, because the price might go down and Betfair won't match a back bet under the price that you asked for, or they go up a bit and you'll get matched at a slightly better price. So what you end up with is one runner you'll win 110 on, another one you'll win 100 on, and another one you'll win 120 on, or something like that. It doesn't often work out equal across the whole board, but just because of the speed. Even when you use software, it doesn't always come out equally, because it's quite a lot of a calculation to happen and everything's got to be perfect to do it. But as you do more and more Dutches, you'll kind of get the idea. Now, say we were looking at this race and there was a fourth selection that we wasn't sure about. We think that the winner is going to come from the first three, but that fourth selection we're not sure about. So we don't, and let's just say the price was £10.50 or 10.50, and we weren't sure. So let's hedge it out. Now, obviously, we're going to make less money, but what happens is with the hedges that if this horse does come in and win, we don't lose anything and we don't gain anything. Now in real life it sometimes comes out that we might lose a few pence or whatever, and we might gain a few pence just because of the way the markets work by the time you get the bet on. But yeah, so okay, yeah, that hedges out. I don't have to worry about that runner now. I don't think it'll win, but you know, just in case, we zero it. And basically that's all we're doing, is we're hedging. We're giving ourselves an insurance in effect, saying, well, you know, if that horse wins, then we don't have to worry about it. Now personally, I actually do it on favourites a lot. I might back the top four, but the other top three here, and I might hedge out the favourite. And the point is you know, favourites win 35% of the time, but generally you've got to think about favourites between the price of 1.01, which there hardly ever are, but 1.02 or whatever, and you know, probably up to about 7 or 8 is the price range for favourites. So you know, a favourite of 4.50, if you took 100 and divide it by 4.5, this favourite's chance of winning is 22%. Now obviously the chance of this one winning and this one winning and this one winning is lower, but it also means that, you know, maybe we've looked at this favourite and thought, oh, I don't really think this favourite can win. But favourites do win. So we could hedge out this favourite and go for one of the others thinking, no, I think this selection's going to, you know, beat it. So there's a number of ways you can do it. Now, let's have a look at a couple of live ideas on this. So what I've also done is I've given a mini version of this. And if we open it up, you can see that we've got a mini version. Now, what I'm going to do is just delete a few of these for a second. So we just end up with our 3 again. And what I'm going to do is just put that over to here where we go to Betfair. Now, I'm not sure this is a good example, but we'll have a play with this one. So we've got a race here. The favourite is over 3. So that means it's not a strong favourite. Okay, we'll bring this calculator up. Right, we've got the calculator in place. Right, let's go 3.6 on the favourite, 4 on the second favourite. Them prices are quite close. And 6 on the... Now, there's not a lot of profit in these 3. So, at the moment, we've got 3 runners where we think we've got a good chance of winning on. We've got one here that is kind of like in the middle. And 3 more outsiders, although these prices aren't outside. This one, boom, boom, we can probably write off. Okay. Now, what would be nice is to Dutch, or at least cover half of the field. So let's just pretend that we didn't think the favourite was going to win. Okay, so we take the favourite out. That puts our stakes up. But we're a bit worried about not so sober. So what we do is add a selection, and we are going to hedge this one runner. So we're hedging the favourite, and we're hedging selection 4. We think the winner is probably going to come from one of these 2. Of course, we could do it another way, and we could say, well, no, maybe the winner is going to come from one of those 3 because it's in the top 4 but not the favourite. Or we could do it the other way around and say, well, let's take the favourite on and not that one. Now, you'll see our stakes are getting lower and lower all the time. But we've covered, by doing this, we've covered half the field. And I mean, it could be a mixture. It could be, well, I'm not sure about this runner here. I actually prefer that runner. So I'm going to do it that way around. You know, there's loads of ways you can do it, or I'm actually going to go for one of those 2 because I think they're the 2 that are going to win. But those 2 I'm going to hedge out. Now, obviously, if the winner comes from somewhere else, there's nothing we can do about that. But what we're doing is looking at the runners. We can now analyse the runners and go, okay, I don't think that one's going to win, so I'm going to hedge that one. I really think that one's got a good chance. I really think that one's got a good chance, so I'm going to back those 2 for the win. And I don't think that one's got a chance. I'm going to hedge it. So that's one way of looking at it. Too many runners in that for my liking. We don't want to do Royal Ascot today. That's a nightmare. 2 less. Just going to try and find a race that I like, which I'm not finding many today. Nope. That's similar to what we've had already. Too low. Well, that's got again. Wolverhampton. I was looking for an 8 runner race with not too high. How many runners there? 2, 4, 6. All right, let's try this one. Okay, so the favourite is 2.94. Okay, we've got 4.9. This might not work that well with such a stronger favourite, but we'll go for it anyway. 8.8, and we've got a 10 there. Okay, now obviously there's a few runners here that could be considered. Okay, and this is, what's this, 9 runners now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 runners. So, you know, we're going to have trouble actually covering half the race. Now, let's just say we're going to hedge the favourite because, you know, we just don't think it's going to win. Okay, so we hedge the favourite. We think that one's got a good chance, that one's got a good chance, and that one's got a good chance, but we're a bit worried about Wild Cop. So we add a selection, put the price in at 10.5, and we're going to hedge him out. Now, of course, that puts our profit right down, and it'd be even worse if we we actually backed him for a win. So we hedged him out. So we've hedged out the favourite. We've hedged out this one as well. We think the winner's going to come from one of those three. The only problem with it, see, this race I'd normally look at and say, well, I'm not going to worry about any of those. This Victor C, now if we add him in as well, I think that's just going to take our Dutch down too low. Sorry. So if we Dutch, that's down to 17, 15. So I think you'd have to make a decision about taking one more out. But really, you know, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. So we kind of, I tend to go for about half the field. I'd like to do more if I can, but generally it would probably be that we've got pretty much half the field here, and we've a couple of we don't think the favourite's going to win, although at that price I wouldn't say that. Maybe we can look at the form and say, well, that King of Chaos, I'm not too sure about him, number 3. So we could hedge him out, and TIE Fighter. Yeah, so you could do things like that as well. But that's basically the idea. You can look at a race and instead of just Dutching and thinking, I'm just a bit worried about those other runners, you can now Dutch and hedge those runners. Okay, well, I'll leave it there. As I said, I put a link to this free hedging Dutch calculator in the description below. If you like the video, please give me the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because I'm always doing videos like this about different products and things I give away and that kind of thing, so you'll get notified when that happens, and it helps the algorithm, as they tell me that anyway. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.